We're live, Audrey.
Why? Oh, okay. Well, that doesn't make
Sorry.
any sense. Hold on, everyone. Sorry, I did not realize we were live right now. I'm trying to share the link so everyone else can figure out where to go. Hopefully, most people that are have the hang of it by now.
That proves it's live TV.
Yeah, well, we should. Okay, never mind. Okay, so the link is shared. Hopefully, all of you will be able to see it. Okay, so if you guys did not know, I am going to be doing the show solo tonight. So if you have any questions that you want to just ask me personally or whatever, you're able to kind of have this opportunity to totally just have a one-on-one, because that's totally what we want to do, right? Right. We've been waiting for this one-on-one for a while. Don't act like you don't want it. But anyway, so like I said, tonight's just kind of a one-on-one. If you have any questions that maybe didn't get answered in last week's show that you really are avid about having answered, I think Bonnie Brown went through and answered most of last week's questions that were directed towards her. But if there's one that you were specifically wanting answered and did not have the opportunity to be read, because we actually got a lot of questions and comments rolling in, which was awesome. That was like incredible. We hadn't had that many questions in a long time. Even with Hoopalicious part of the show, we had more comments last night than in a long time, so that was pretty cool. But anyway, so yeah, if you've been working on anything in particular, or maybe you just shush, babies, want to talk about something that you've discovered in your own personal hoop practice, then comment it down below. I would love to start an awesome discussion with you guys and help you with anything that maybe you need help with. And maybe we can all learn something together tonight, because I've had a few experiences where I've learned something on the actual show because I had a question from someone that wanted some sort of move, kill yourself, that I did not know about. So without further ado, I will go ahead and do a quick demo. Jenna is not here tonight, obviously, because I'm just here. So it's going to take me a couple seconds, and you might have some moments where I'm not on screen, so occupy yourselves. Get out your phones, tweet out the hoopingLIVE link, share it on the Facebooks, maybe get some other people to watch the show while I go grab my hoops, which will take 2 seconds. So entertain yourselves. I'll be right back. I'm graceful. Okay, I'm here. I am so graceful, you guys. So envy me and worship me, because I am so graceful. If you didn't catch that, that was complete sarcasm, because I literally just fell over absolutely nothing. And I'm probably one of the most ungraceful women on this planet. Unless I have my little dance partner over here, then he can, or she can, whatever its mood is, can make me feel a little bit more graceful. But I am, you know what, actually, before I even get into comments or questions or demos, I want to talk to you guys for a second. And I don't know who is watching right now, if there's a lot of you, or if there isn't a lot of you. I can't see the view count, so it's not really that important to me, but I appreciate those of you who are watching right now. I want to have like a little heart-to-heart with you guys, because there are a few times in my life where I've experienced something that really impacts my personality, where it feels like it changes my innermost being. And for those of you who have experienced something like that before, you know that it's like a turning point or a chapter in your life that you want to bookmark and say, okay, this was intense. So without further ado, I'm going to teach you guys a little life lesson that I learned recently. I have been told before that I'm like not gonna cry during this either. Watch me. I won't cry. That blood or family is your everything, and that if it's your family, they can't hurt you, or they'll hurt you. Okay, family can hurt you, but they'll always be there for you, no matter what, and they'll always love you, regardless. And I had an experience where someone who I thought would always love me regardless of my flaws, regardless of fights or whatever happened, that person would always be there for me and love me and support me. And I had a situation where that didn't happen. And this is a situation that none of you would know about. It's like kind of like a minor family thing, just someone that had my blood hurt me in a way that was like shocking, because I understood that I did wrong in a situation as well, but so did this person, and I couldn't understand why this person was being so hateful towards me, even though we both had made a mistake in the situation. I hope that makes sense. But that's just kind of a minor part of the story, because I had to go to therapy because of what happened between me and this said family member. I had to go to therapy for a while because it really screwed me up, because I was thinking to myself, how could a family member be so hurtful? And not in like a yell at you sort of way, but like a way that was therapy worth. Let's just say that. So I went to therapy, and my therapist said, Audrey, if this person was not your blood, because I kept saying, they're my blood, why would they hurt me? He said, if this person was your blood, would you be friends with him or her? I don't want to give a gender away because I don't want to reveal who this person is in respect for their, reputation. And I kind of thought about it, and I said, well, I guess not. No, I mean, their personality is not really my personal preference in humans. And he said, exactly. So just because you're blood doesn't mean that you have to like that person. And with him saying that, regardless if you agree with it or not, it opened up a lot of spaces for me to explore and understand and whatnot. But I do love this family member still. To this day, I will always love, we'll call this person random person. I'll always love this random person, and regardless of what happens, and for the rest of my life till the day I die, I'll always love, this person. And I realized that I did not choose to be friends with this person. I was kind of forced into it. So then I thought, okay, so friends. I choose who my friends are. And I've made bad decisions in my life with friends, let me tell you what. But I do know that I've also made some excellent choices. I have a girlfriend named Jessica Mitchell back in Kansas City. she's one of the most quality people I know on this planet. And there's a lot more than that. I mean, I have tons of friends, but I'm talking about kind of one of my oldest friends that I have. And that's a quality person. So I know that I have good taste in people when my heart knows that that's a good person. And my heart has told me that's not a good person, but I'll still say, oh, you know, I'll call my best friend for a little bit. And I've been hurt by people. We've all been hurt by people. Stop rambling, Audrey, get to the point. Regardless, what I want to tell you guys about is something that happened to me recently that just completely felt like my heart was ripped out of my chest. And I had put so much love and effort into a friendship because my therapist said, with friends you choose. You look at a random person, you say, I like the way that person acts. I like the way that person talks and thinks. Yeah, I can see myself being friends with them. And you say, hey, let's be friends. And then you form a friendship because you say, hey, I like who that person is. So I had this friend. And this person, I will not say if it was a boy or a girl, want to keep it very confidential, just like my family member, was my everything. I mean, I loved this person. They were talented, beautiful, handsome, whatever you want to call them. And I tried to give so many opportunities to this person to succeed. And they don't need me to succeed. They're going to be perfect on their own. But I tried so hard because I try to give so much to people so that they can have something to use. Kind of like hoopingLIVE. I try to give this to you all, and Jenna does too. We both try to give a platform or a space for all of you to come together and feel part of a community. So it was kind of that whole thing where I like to just give to people because it makes me feel good, it makes other people feel good. So it's just kind of this awesome continuous cycle or circle or hoop, whatever you want to call it. So I work my butt off for this person. I'm not going to say what I did or what I didn't do. And because of petty drama between let's just say a Monday and a Thursday, it was from giving all that I had to having nothing at all with this person. And I was completely heartbroken by it, thinking, what have I done? What have I done? Blaming myself. And you know, it takes two to tango, so there's always a fault within both parties. Maybe there's not in all situations, but in most there is. So moral of the story is that if you put your all into something and it's not given back to you, I wasn't expecting appreciation. I wasn't expecting thanks. I did this solely just to give all to this person. I wanted nothing back at all. Of course, I wanted friendship and to be loved by this person, but I kind of, I guess in the end, wasn't. And what I'm saying is that I thought with therapy that my therapist said, you don't choose your family, but you can choose your friends. And then I realized, well, sometimes family sucks, and sometimes friends suck. That's inevitable. I get that. But I realized the most intense points of your life, even the people that you think will be there for you, no matter what happens, sometimes they just won't. And that they'll go from loving and respecting you to zero. I'm not saying all people do that, because I've experienced people in my life, even to this day, that love me unconditionally. But just, I'm venting in a way and trying to tell you guys something in a way that is just saying, if something crappy happens to you in your life because of a friend or a family member, and you're saying, what have I done? And in your heart, you know you did nothing wrong. Just don't beat yourself up. Because I've been beating myself up for the past week, saying, well, maybe it was this. And then I'm like, wait, no, that couldn't be it. And I've talked to numerous people telling them the full story, and they said, you know, it's not your fault. You did the best you could, and I don't know. I don't know if I'm reaching out to anyone right now. I don't know if I'm just venting because I know you guys have to listen to me because you tuned in. Who knows? But I was pretty much crushed by someone that I loved. Two people that I loved and trusted with all of my might. And maybe you have information that you could, like, pass on to me, but I can only pass on to you that so far I've learned that place in the back of your head that says you're doing the right thing, even though the path that you're on right now really hurts and you're like stepping on glass almost. Sometimes your life path, the right path that you're going on, is going to have glass on it. And it's still the right path. It just is going to have hot coals or glass on it. And you have to learn to meditate and to focus and to walk across those hot coals like those Buddhist people do. And deal with the pain. Because it's still supposed to happen. Doesn't mean you made the wrong choice in life or that you did something wrong. It just means that your life path has a really crazy obstacle for you that's going to hurt. And it's going to leave a scar. And this, I know for a fact, these two incidences with friends and family have both left scars on me, and I'm starting to realize that I'm not graceful, which ties back to the beginning of the show, and that I don't have all my stuff together. And a lot of people look at me and and I'm not saying this in a conceited way or vain or whatever, but a lot of people send me messages saying, you're my biggest inspiration, I love you, whatever. And those mean the world to me. I mean, I'll read these messages when I'm having a crappy day, and I'll feel so much better about myself. And I'll be like, well, at least I made that person's day. And not everyone in the world hates me. When I feel like everyone is just tearing me down. So you guys mean the world to me. And it's just like each and every one of you have made such an impact on my life. So from big to small, I want to let you guys know that I'm not perfect. And I had a conversation with Bonnie Brown, the other day. And I felt bad because I said, all these people are looking at me saying, you know, she's perfect, or some people say that, like, I'm perfect and I have this perfect life, and they see me as this, you know, flawless human. And not all of you. For those of you who know me, you know that I am, like, the epitome of flawed. And, but I also have the things that are amazing about myself. We all do. And I just wanted to say that I am weird. Like, I walk around and, like, make weird noises and talk to myself. I'm messy at times. Sometimes I don't want to clean my dishes. I don't want to clean my makeup brushes. I leave my Xbox on for too long and it overheats. I mean, I have a messy room right there. It's so messy. I'm a pack rat. I have had problems in my life that have caused health issues now. I made stupid choices. I'm just so flawed. But I'm also so perfect as well. And all of us are. We are all perfectly flawed. Not to sound cliche. But I guess it all ties up because I just want to say that regardless of what you're going through, you're amazing. Like there's someone out there that loves you. And if you don't feel that way, I love you. I don't even have to know you and I can love you because I think love is like a muscle and it needs to be exercised and nourished. And the way that that happens is through expressing it. So I'm going to stop this 20-minute rant that probably made no sense at all. And I'm going to go back onto the comments. But anyway, I just had to vent to you guys. I mean, you're the only thing that I... Oh my god, I'm so sorry. You all probably hate me right now. You're like, Audrey, shut up. Anyway, I'm going to do a quick demo because I have to, like, express right now. Hopefully it won't be too weird. See, this is what happens when Jenna's not on the show. I start ranting and raving about my own personal issues. My house is a mess. I'm trying to clean it though, I really am. It's like one of my goals. I feel like I can't get anything done until my house is clean, but I still do stuff. Is anyone else like that? They're like, oh my gosh, if my desk isn't like perfect, nothing will get done. I'm like that. But I still don't clean sometimes. It's like awful. And Chakra loves it though, because he's like, it's a jungle of nothingness. Who knows? Woo! If my skirt flew up at any point of that, don't get excited because I'm wearing shorts underneath. So don't try to act like I was trying to show the world my galaxies, because my galaxies are covered up by panties? I don't know. Shorts. I am seriously Like, no filter. This episode needs to be called, like, Audrey, no filter. Like, no filter Audrey or something, because I am not using a filter. Okay, so you guys have a lot of comments. I'm going to get to them. I'm going to stop talking. Oh, my God. Stop talking, Audrey. Gross. I don't have a name for this comment, but it says, "Hi Audrey, I would really appreciate some tips on vertical shoulder hooping and vertical waist hooping. Also, how long did this take you to get down? When I was vertically hoop on my waist, it falls down. When I vertically hoop on my shoulders, it comes up to my neck. I've watched many tutorials but still struggle. Any advice on what or what not to do? Anyone else watching, any tips? Thanks as always." So she says, anyone else watching, any tips? Because all tips are welcome. If anyone ever asks a question, by the way, I'm really glad this person said this, because if anyone ever says something and I just can't explain it, or I don't say something, you're like, oh, Audrey, like, no, you should say this, comment it down below so we can collectively teach each other stuff. It's not just the all-knowing Audrey saying things, because I don't know, like, a lot of stuff. I know enough, but I'm not hip on the trends, unfortunately. I'm working on it, I promise, but I'm not all-knowing, so please, let's all help each other out. So, yeah, anyway, without further ado, let's do some angled hooping. So a vertical chest or shoulder hooping is this, or it can look like this, where you're bent more over. I try to stay more erect when I shoulder hoop vertically, and then if you want to move it down to your waist, this is typically how I'll hoop, or you can come over like this. Both are fine and both work well. I like to typically suggest, if you're learning how to vertically hoop, to stay bent over, because it gives you a lot more leverage. And what you want to do is, this is how I typically like to go into it. I like to start at my shoulders, and if this doesn't work for you, then you can start like this. I like to start at my shoulders, and I like to think that I am pulling my energy down to the earth. So I like go boom, boom. So I think earth, 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 and I start angling my axis downwards. And when I'm doing that, I am on the balls of my feet, and I am bouncing. I'm kind of going like bouncing back and forth, and it helps. And you're using, I'm not even really using my shoulders that much. I'm letting all of that energy to push the hoop come up from the balls of my feet. I'm not on my tiptoes. I'm just on all four quads of my feet, but putting all of that energy towards the balls of my feet. So when I'm doing it, it's kind of a back and forth motion. And as you can see, my legs are kind of hip distance or apart, or shoulder distance apart, and I'm going back and forth. And what you can do is just focus on that kind of bouncing motion. So bouncing on the balls of your feet. And you can, if the hoop kind of comes down like that, focus on your shoulders and kind of focus on pushing out and keeping your quadrants even. So once you get that, you can start coming more up, which is what I like to do, is still stay vertical, but act like I'm still hooping vertically, so I'm more straightforward. So if you're going to go onto your waist, that's kind of an advanced tip, so if that doesn't make sense, please let me know. It's the same thing. I like to point down, feet shoulder width apart, point down, and start going towards the balls of your feet. And just kind of lean forward. And focus the hoop on your core. So you're getting most of that energy at your core in the balls of your feet. So you're bouncing at the balls of your feet and focusing the energy on your core. This is the best core workout with the hula hoop. So it's not like you're like, I mean, you can jump if you want, if that helps, but I don't suggest it. I suggest kind of doing kind of a bounce and focusing your core and thinking about bringing that energy down to the earth. So anyway, once you get that, like I said, I suggest kind of going more bent over to focus on it, but you can also come up and stay more vertically, so it kind of looks a little bit less forced once you get it. So yeah, hopefully that makes sense. And it took me a long time. It took me till about a year ago. It took me about probably about 2.5 years of vertical hooping for me to be able to understand it to an extent where I understood every variable of angled hooping. So moving forward, Megan House says, "Hi Audrey, I've been hooping for about 9 months and I'm still struggling to find my flow. Any tips on how to help me reach that state? Thank you. Also, this is the first time I've been able to watch the show live." Well, thank you so much. I'm happy you were able to watch the show live. I know it's hard for a lot of people to do so, and I'm always grateful for those of you who can. Monday night, every Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern time or Florida time, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, so if you want to watch us live, you can. You can also watch the episodes after they've been filmed the next day because they are recorded if you can't make a show. But if you want to have live interaction with us, then definitely watch the show live. Pardon me. So flow. We've had a lot of conversations on flow. And flow is not something that I can help you find, unfortunately. But what I can do is guide you on the right path towards it. And that path is learning how to dance and practice. If you learn how your inner dancer wants to move and practice with the hoop enough, you will find your flow. But unfortunately, there is no exact formula to finding flow. If you have any questions on finding your inner dancer or practicing flow, let me know in the comments below and I'd be happy to help you. Okay, so Colleen NG says, "I'm planning to make my own hoops to start hooping. I'm from an area in Canada with a lack of people who make them. Do you know if there's a difference between 100 PSI CSA grade polytubing and 100 PSI standard polytubing? There's a price difference of $20, so I was wondering if the CSA grade was worth spending the extra for. Thanks." I have no idea. I'm sorry, I have no idea. I will direct that comment on to Bonnie Brown right this second, because she is the all-knowing master of hula hoops. So let me send her this question. 1 second. Okay, so hopefully we will get a response from her. Junebug says, when doing escalator, how do you make the hoop move gracefully up your body into catch and then smoothly back down? It's so clunky every time I do it, and I can't seem to get it. Please help. I understand your pain. The escalator is very hard. So I'll show you guys what the escalator up and down is in 1 second. I'm going to go fix an issue so I don't expose the world to my downstairs mix-up. It was so hard to do without Jenna. Ah. Oh, do we have a reply? No, we don't. Sorry. Okay. So, the escalator is this. Wow, that was a really gross. That was a chunky escalator. So what she is asking was, how do you make the hoop move more gracefully up your body and catch it? So what she's talking about, I think, is when you take the escalator and it goes from here to over there. Just kidding. I'm not really that great at the escalator where it goes from here to like here. And it's very circus looking. But what you can do is honestly find out how the hoop wants to travel down your body. If you're big-chested, small-chested, no-chested, whatever it is, the hoop is going to travel that quadrant down your body differently. So I suggest just kind of dropping the hoop and saying, okay, so the hoop wants to go here and then hits the back of my leg. So how can I help guide the hoop down those parts of my body? And what speed do I need to use to get it to do those exact movements? So going from up to down, you need to figure out the right speed that you need. And honestly, it's just understanding your body, and I think it's, gosh, my hair is like falling apart. I think it's honestly just completely and solely based off what your body wants to happen, because you can't really tell anyone how to make their hoop move gracefully. You need to figure out how your body wants to work, and with that you will be able to construct a graceful move. If that didn't make any sense at all, let me know, because I will feel totally bad about it. Okay, so moving forward. Okay, we said that. Okay, so Wuggish says, 3-part question. Do you remember your first experience of flow state when hooping? How far was it into your hoop journey? Did it come about? And did this feeling something about, and is this feeling something that you've been able to capture when doing other creative things, such as painting, photography, etc.? That is an amazing question. That's like a 10-pointer right there. So Wuggish, that was hella good. And yes, I did just say hella. So first part of the question, I do remember the first time I felt flow, and it was at a Hoop Path convention or workshop, and it was when I was blindfolded without my hoop, and I felt completely free. And when I picked up my hoop, I felt it again, but the first time I felt flow in general was without my hoop, and I was just dancing blindfolded. And it was, I actually started crying. It was so cool, very beautiful, and very special. How far into hoop journey did it come about? It was about a year and a half till I found flow, where I really felt I found flow. I mean, I was hooping well, but I thought I was just hooping well. I never really felt like I could just do, you know, I could just dance and feel flowy. I never felt that until that Hoop Path when I was a freshman in college. Is the feeling something you've been able to capture when doing other creative things? Absolutely. When I felt that flow, I feel like I'm able to actually kind of trigger that feeling when I'm doing photography or art, which helps me get to express myself in ways I never thought I could before, because I never actually felt that form of flow before. So when I did, I was able to hone in on that energy and express it in other ways. I mean, obviously flow is a very subjective and personal kind of thing, so it all differs depending on the person. But great question. It was a beautiful thing when I finally experienced flow. And by the way, guys, you know when you feel it. It's not like, I think I felt flow. No, you're not going to say that. You're going to say, I know I felt flow. Like, it absolutely happened. There's no question in it. Actually, you feel it. Trust me. And when you do, you should totally tweet hoopingLIVE or comment on something with hoopingLIVE and say, I felt it. I felt it. It was great. Because I like to know. Because it's my super short show. Nova says, hi Audrey, first time live viewer here. Awesome. Hi Novo. 1, 3, 6, 9 numbers. Hi, thank you for being live. I'm going to get off my legs here and sit back down. I'm sorry I'm so like sniffly today. I don't know why, but my body is just like trying to mess with me. Oh, Craig says, I'll be there for you. Thank you, Craig. You're the bestest. You guys don't know who Craig is. Craig is my manager for hoopingLIVE. He has a website. It's craigship.com. He has a lot of cool techie stuff on there where you can learn all about technological. That is a new word. Congratulations, Audrey. How's it feel to have made up a new word? It feels really great. Thanks for asking. Nixie Hoops says, I feel you, Audrey, on the flawed yet perfect. My house is a disaster, too. I'm sorry your house is a disaster, but I'm happy to know that you understand the flawed yet perfect thing, because it's totally a thing, and it's a cool thing. Let's see. I need to get more water, guys. 1 second. Entertain yourselves for just like a minute. Okay. So Karen Cutchins says, you can't choose family. Oh, you guys are going to be like, make me cry, aren't you? You can't choose family, but that does not mean that you have friends but does not mean that you have to be best friends or hang out together, etc. with them. I have family members that use drugs, drink, and don't respect themselves or others. They are also users/takers. I don't hang out with them or in any way. Be strong. Keep only positive people around you. Don't let others tear you down. You're a good person. Anyone that takes the time to blog, have sessions on Mondays, etc., has good in them. Thank you. That was really, that was very sweet. Thank you. And I hope that you all know that that can go out to all of you, that all of you have the time to watch me on Mondays. Take time out of your day to sit down and watch. And I'm sure a lot of you do blogging and talk about something or do something during the day that involves a lot of your energy, and all of you should be respected and loved. And if you don't feel that way, know that this community totally loves you. And now my eyes are like on fire because that was like really sweet. Thank you, Karen. That meant a lot. Solfino says, heart, heart, heart. It's a lot of love. Thank you. It's alright. This is exactly why I started tuning into your show, despite the shared hoop passion, clearly. Of course. In the first place, it's the fact that you're real and it shows, and that it's what makes you beautiful, the fact that you're fine with showing the world that this is who you are. There is too much in today's world that is fake, and honestly, it makes me sad. But it's nice to see and to be reminded that there are real people. Keep doing what you do. I think there was more to that comment, but I did not see it. Craig, if you don't mind getting the rest of that comment, that would be great. Did you post it?
I thought I posted the whole thing.
Maybe you did. Okay.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. There could have been a read more on it.
There
Yeah.
was. Yeah, there was.
This was from Solfino.
Yeah, Solfino.
Let me put it back in. I'll put it in chat right now.
Thank you. Craig's the best. He takes care of all the comments, and you guys send a lot, so it's kind of hard for him to keep up with all of them sometimes.
I didn't see the read more thing.
That's okay. I don't see anything else, though, from what you just posted. There's too much in today's world that is fake. Honestly, it makes me sad. It's nice to see. And be reminded there are still real people. Keep doing what you do. Maybe it was just long enough for it.
I think that's all that's showing.
I think so, too. Okay, moving forward. Thank you, Solfino, or Sol, I don't know what your name is, but that meant a lot to me. That was gorgeous, and I'm sure was able to resonate with a lot of people around us, because we all need to stick together, sisters and brothers and friends that maybe lack family or lack friends or, you know, whatever, and we all need to stick together and love each other. I don't mean that in like a loving, like, oh, let's all love each other kind of way. Like a way that I realize that sometimes family and friends suck, like I said earlier, and that you need to have people that are going to love you regardless. Because that is so important. Oh, it is so important. So let's move forward. Before the end of the show, I have about 10 minutes left. I want to get through your comments. Julie Petonino says, wow, crazy. You said perfectly flawed right after I posted that message. The universe. The universe. Absolutely. I was so feeling connected to talking about that subject today that it wasn't even questionable. So I'm so glad that it happened. Universal circles are probably one of the coolest things ever. Right? Right. Anyway, she also says, we fall in love with people's flaws. Totally agree with that. Always remember that you are perfectly flawed and loved. We are all worthy of love. We are all a little weird, and when we find some time whose weirdness is compatible with ours, we join up with them and fall in mutual weirdness and call it love. Dr. Seuss. Oh, that one hit a soft spot on me. Jesus, you guys, come on. That wasn't very nice. Oh, sweet. I'm still talking to you. I just had to get my chi watered. If you don't know what that is, then figure it out. I have to say that I absolutely love that quote. I'm going to read that one more time for you guys. We are all a little weird, and when we find someone whose weirdness is compatible with ours, we join with them and fall in mutual weirdness and call it love. Dr. Seuss. And that, my friends, is perfect. I mean, oh, I love that. Thank you. That's exactly what I need to hear tonight. I mean, you guys are the reason for my existence, I swear. Mindy Morgan says, that rant was beautiful. Oh, Audrey. And it touched on what I'm going through with my friend/ex-roommate. Friends and ex-roommates can be a really intense thing for that. I think that roommates at times, and it's funny that you say that, Mindy, because the situation I went with a friend, it was a kind of a similar situation where someone says, hey, you know, you shouldn't go into blank with a friend because it could ruin the friendship. And you're like, no, we never not be friends because of a situation like that. Well, look what happened. So I understand what you're going through, and if you want to send me a personal message and talk about it, or if any of you do, just you can like send me a personal message on my personal Facebook if you want to do that, because it is kind of hard to deal with. So I'm sorry that you're dealing with something like that. Let me get through the rest of these comments. I might go a little bit over, and that's okay, because I ranted in the beginning, and a lot of you seem to appreciate it, so that's okay. Solar Flower, oh cool name, says, hi Audrey, I was wondering if you think hooping is changing or if it's becoming mainstream. What negative and positive have you seen? I feel like everyone is hooping now. It's not a bad thing though. That's a heavy topic. It's interesting you say that, because I've had a couple friends say that hooping seems a little mainstream right now. But 3 years ago, people were saying that too. It's like, when does it actually become mainstream? So I wouldn't let that stuff bother you. If it becomes mainstream, it becomes mainstream. There are going to be professional dancers who are going to see hoop dance and be like, hey, I'm a professional dancer. I can do that. And they're going to figure it out, and they're going to be bomb-ass hoopers. It's inevitable. We can't stop. Ooh, I hiccupped. We can't stop it. And I do think it's becoming mainstream. Absolutely. And I think it's cool, because I think a lot of cool, innovative hoops will come out of it, LED style, material-wise, tape-wise. I think a lot of cool stuff can come out of hooping being mainstream, but you have to figure out what hooping means to you. Is it something that you want to be into, like, no one else does it? Because if that's your mindset, well then, baby, you are screwed, because this stuff is becoming, it is inclining at a rapid pace. So if that's what you're thinking, then that's not going to work out. So just find out what hooping is for you as an individual, grasp onto it, and, like, nurture it. Find out, like, Nick Gazzardo, he does really cool, like, kind of like moonwalky, flowy stuff. He took that and he nurtured it. Tiana, with her small hoop and her, like, glitchy stuff, she took it, she grasped onto it. Each of us, hooping is still so new that there's so much to be being discovered with it. So find out what your little, even if it's a little foot movement you do, focus on it and see what you can expand from it. See what you are able to offer the hooping community. So nerdy. Okay, so let's see here. Ooh, I'm lost. Okay, here we go. Joanne Koslow says, Hi. Hi. Do you have any dance experience and how much? I have absolutely no experience in dance and I'm having trouble finding flow. Tips and advice would be really appreciated. Girl, Athelia, I have 1% dance experience in my life. When I was 3 years old, ew. When I was 3 years old, oh my god. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm being so weird tonight. When I was 3 years old, I did ballet, tap, and some weird bumblebee dance. I remember it was like, I want to be a dancer. Habba-dabba-da-do. Ba-ba-ba-dabba-da-da-da. Ha-ha-bam-bam-boo. And you, and you, and you, and you, and you. You can be a dancer too. And then I literally stood there on the stage in my costume, like, you can be a dancer. Hi, Mom! Mom! Like, hi! It was bad. It was like a complete failure on my part. But anyway, you can be a dancer too. And you. And you, and you, and you. Hi, I'm Audrey, and I'm here to tell you about how you can be a dancer. With only 3 easy payments of $10.99, you can buy this energy to become... Shut up. Anyway, so I don't have much experience with dance, but when I went to Hoop Path, I was taught how to dance and dance within myself, because as a quick tip and advice on finding flow, my only advice I have is finding your inner dancer. And how you do that is literally seeing how your body moves. Don't look at, let's say, Tiana and say, oh my gosh, I love the way she dances, I want to dance like her. And then you try to do it, and you film yourself, and you're like, oh, I got it. And then you look at it, and you're like, oh, I don't got it. I do not got it at all. Because maybe that's not how your body moves. You need to figure out how your body moves and work with it. What I like to do is think about the elements. I've talked about this in multiple videos in the past. I am going to literally make a video on it. Thanks for the inspiration. Craig, make a mental note that we're going to make a video on elements of dancing. Best manager in the world. So I think about fire, and think about actual fire. Fire is like, it's like shimmies, and it's like quick, like whoo, wispy, like flamey, hot movements. Earth is like getting down to the ground and like pounding and clapping and like hard movements. See, I can't do that because I have long, lanky arms, and I'm like, yeah, I want to be too. And I can't do it because I can't, because I have long arms, and it's like a mile later, I finally am able to like extend my arm. So with my long arms, I realized, well, I can kind of be like airy or like watery, and then I realized that I can move with like air and water. And sometimes I can get like down to the ground like earth, and you like kind of like make like a mental percentage note of how much of each element you can relate to in dance. So like I said, water is, water. It's malleable. You're able to kind of like move and all these different like motions. And air is like wispy. It's you're unable to tell like where it's gonna go. Maybe it's gonna be a tornado, maybe it's a light breeze. And you just kind of like try to intermingle all of these elements and see what feels good. Because like if I try to dance hip hop, it's like awkward. I'm like it's so bad. It's like you just can't do it. But ballet, even though I don't know ballet, I love to turn. And I love to move my arms like this. It's very graceful and like graceful. Like I said, all I can do is dance gracefully. But walking, I'm like trip over my own air sort of thing. So, like I said, figure out how your body wants to move. Literally dance to Christian music, dance to rap, dance to metal, dance to every time. Make a playlist. If you guys want me to make a playlist of music to try to dance to, let me know in the comments below, because I can totally do that. And see how your body moves. Videotape it. Don't show anyone if you don't want to, but videotape it. Put your hoop down. Blindfold yourself. And just dance. Do another video, unblindfolded. Dance. And then get your hoop and dance. And see what resonates with you. Alright, last couple questions. Nova says, hi, pretty lady. Love your show. This is my first time viewing live. Oh, wow, we have a lot of new live viewers tonight. I've been hooping for the past 4 months, or about 4 months, and now I've been lately experiencing some sort of Goldilocks hoop syndrome. I love my hoop, 160 3/4 hoop on body practice, but become chunky as I get better at paddling, breaking off body stuff. On the other end, I have a 1/2 inch Poly Pro that I love for off-body tricks paddles, but could use a bit more weight to keep it going around my shoulders. Sigh. So we HDPE hoops. So our HDPE hoops the answer. Like I have read, and do you have preferences on tubing size? Sorry, that was a long question. I have my own personal preferences, but that does not mean they're going to work for you. I will have Bonnie Brown answer this question. I will mark it right now, actually, because I do not think I can answer that with knowledgeable knowledge. I use Poly Pro. I use a 32-inch hoop for on-body and a 28-inch hoop for off-body. Both are polypropylene. I love HDPE because it's a lot tougher, but I suggest playing with multiple sizes of multiple different tubings. Use your friend's hoop, buy a hoop, whatever you have to do. Just try different things out and see what works for you. There is unfortunately no solid answer for that question, but I will have Bonnie Brown answer it if it can help you. Junebug says, thanks for the feedback. I have been watching your shows on YouTube, but this is the first time I have watched live. Awesome. So glad you're here. Awesome. Okay, so that's the end of the questions. Craig says, can we do a quick camera review after your show wraps? Just 5 minutes. Wait, right now?
If you have time. If not,
For everyone here?
it's a brand new thing. Well, I was going to do a separate little thing on it, but whatever you want to do.
Yeah, okay. So Craig, Hangout 10?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, guys, so we're going to do a Hangout 10 show after Hooping Live where you can learn a little bit more about cameras. If you're interested in making your own shows or want to have a camera to film better hooping videos, you can check out hangout10.com. It will be happening shortly after this show, so if you're interested in it, be sure to check it out. I'll have the link on the Hooping Live Facebook page if you're interested. But I want to just do a quick oh my God, my life. Wrap up and say thank you so much for tonight, you guys. You guys were awesome with comments. You were amazing with support. I am so grateful that you were so tolerant of my emotional state, if that's what you want to call it. And if you guys have any other questions, leave them down in the comments below. I will be sure to go through and try to answer as many as I can. I am getting better at it. I promise. I really am. And you guys are amazing. I hope I didn't freak you out too much with my oddness. But anyway, I will see you guys next time. Check out hoopinglive.com to learn about more about Hooping Live, and like us on Facebook, and you can follow us on Twitter, and we have an Instagram. We have all the social medias of choice, and we will see you next week at Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, here on hoopinglive.com. Be well. Stay classy.